Check. Stop recording.
Hey everyone, Tower Killer here, back with another video. Today I am here to teach you guys how to run a macOS 10.15 virtual machine on a Windows 10 PC. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while. It's also something I barely figured out how to do myself a few days ago, so I figured, why not share this knowledge with all of you? And before we get started, I'm going to say that there are system requirements, and I don't know if some people are going to be able to do this. For one, this only, as far as my knowledge goes, this only works on Intel-based PCs. So if you have an Intel processor, you will be good for sure, because I have an Intel processor and I'm able to do this just fine. And the other thing is, the system requirements, I am going to say I've heard that you only require about 4 gigabytes of RAM. That's actually not true. At the bare minimum, you should have 8. If you really want to run a macOS version on Windows 10, you're going to have to look at older Mac versions, because this one ain't it. This requires at least 8 gigabytes of RAM to run, or at least it'll be optimal if you have 8 gigabytes of RAM to run this thing, because it takes a lot of power. I have one running in the background right now, and my total RAM being used is, let me check.
69.2% RAM used. CPU 19.2%.
So about 70% of my RAM is being used when I have 12 gigabytes of RAM, which if you round that up, it's basically using 8, but it's a little bit less, so it's like 7, maybe like 6, but like 6.9 or something like that, but it requires a lot of power to run. And you should have a good system to be able to do this, because it's taking more than 50% of my RAM when I have 12 gigabytes of RAM. So, without further ado, I'm going to start teaching you guys how to use a macOS VM. But before I do that, I'm going to provide a Mediafire link, which is a file hosting service. Don't worry, people, this is not a virus, this isn't anything like that. It's just going to be a link where you can download a giant zip file that's like over 7.8 gigabytes, and it's probably like 8 gigabytes or something like that, but it contains a Mac VM file, which I'm going to show you what to do with, a README file in case you guys would rather have a written guide on how to do this, a VMware setup file, because I'm nice and I'm giving you guys a VMware setup file if you don't have VMware already, and the macOS Unlocker tool. What is the macOS Unlocker tool? I will start talking about that very soon. So, over here, I have
macOS 10.15. 2. VMware Workstation 15 player. Non-commercial use only. Row 1, column 2.
10.15. This
macOS
is the second VM I have of macOS 10.15. We're just going to call it macOS Catalina, because that's what it is. And to prove to you that this actually works, I'm going to interact with the virtual machine.
One system dialog displayed.
And look, this is Mac Alex.
The voiceover quick start.
Shut the fuck up. We don't care about the voiceover quick start. Now, I set this Mac up for the purpose of showing off to you guys that it actually works. Unfortunately, now I'm going to have to burn the thing. So, hold on.
macOS 10.15.
Sorry.
Context menu. File submenu F. Power submenu P. Power menu. Power shutdown desktop. VMware Workstation 15 player dialog. No button. Yes button. macOS 10.15. 2. VMware Workstation Ops 64. Ops 26.0.2.
Alright, so this shutdown,
Folder view list. Ops.
we're going to go back to VMware. And we're going to have to delete the entire virtual machine.
VMware Workstation 15 player. Non-commercial use only.
Because I'm going to have to start this up from scratch. This is the second one I have because my other Mac
macOS
one,
10.15, macOS
I'm not
10.15,
deleting that
306.
one because of how this
macOS,
one.
macOS 10.15, 306.
I'm not deleting that one because of how long it took me to set up.
macOS 10.15, 206.
But this one is burnable, so
VMware
I'm gonna
Workstation
get
15,
rid of it.
delete from this, VMware Workstation 15 player dialog warning. This act no button, yes button, VMware Workstation 15 player, non-commercial,
There we go.
20%. macOS 10.15, 205.
Now, what we're going to do is I am going to show you guys how to unlock the Mac OS function of VMware, because when you install VMware on your computer, keep in mind this is only a VMware tutorial. This isn't VirtualBox or any other software. This is VMware. When you install VMware, it only lets you do Windows and Linux, which is not Mac. It's not Apple Mac OS. It's other operating systems that we don't need to worry about at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to my downloads folder.
Text desktop list, VMware downloads window items. Today
And what we're going to do is we're going to go to this thing.
Unlocker for VMware by text from check 3 of 100.
That's called
Unlocker
Unlocker
for
for
VMware,
VMware by Text Probe or whatever. That's the website where I got that from. I wouldn't really go to that website if I were you, because I don't want to expose you guys to any malware or anything, because that site did look very fishy. Luckily, I did not get any malware. So I have decided to recompile all of these tools into my own zip file, and it's going to be called macOS unlocker tool.zip, and it's going to be in the bigger zip file that's uploading to my media file right now. Anyway, I need to stop talking so much and get on with this. So, what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to this folder. Keep in mind this folder that you guys are going to have looks the exact same. It has the exact same files on it.
License check 10.
We're going to scroll down.
LNX installed SH check.
We're going to ignore these files because those are Linux files.
macOS
We're going to
macOS unlocker
ignore
tool.zip check.
that because that was a compilation, a new compilation. This is what your guys' is going to look like, actually.
Readme.txt check. Mac items view list. Backup not selected. Tool check.
Because I remade it for you guys.
Check license. LNX on Readme.
So we passed the Linux installers. We passed the README because I made my own README if you guys want it.
Test unlocker.py.
We passed that.
Unlocker.exe check 16 of 20.
We passed that.
Unlocker.py check 17 of 22.
And we passed that.
Windows.cmd check 18 of.
We passed that, and we go one more.
Wininstall.cmd check 19 of
So
22.
wininstall.cmd. And what we do is we context menu, so Shift
Context
F10
menu.
or right click.
Open O. Cut T. Copy C.
We
Delete
go
Properties. Open
down
O. Cut T.
to
Copy C. Delete T. Properties. Open O.
Run
Properties.
as
macOS.
administrator. Oh yeah, we have to extract this first. Sorry.
Wininstall.
This one's already extracted, so I'm just going to use this other one as an example.
Wininstall.cmd check.
But you guys are going to have to extract that zip folder when you guys get it.
Wininstall.cmd check.
So you go to wininstall.cmd.
Right context menu. Open O. Cut T.
And
Copy C.
then
Delete T. Properties. Open O. Cut T.
press,
Wininstall.cmd check 19. Windows.cmd. Unlocker.py check.
show
Navigate. Recent back. Stack item. Unlocker.t.
a thing that says run
LNX
as
update tool.sh check 13
administrator.
of 20. LNX. Mac. Readme. Test
Oh
unlocker.
yeah, I was really stupid. I didn't go back to the run.
Test unlocker.py check. Unlocker.exe.
Okay.
Unlocker.t. Windows.cmd
We're
check.
going to go to
Wininstall.cmd check.
wininstall.cmd.
Right context menu. Open O. Edit. Print P. Run as
And
administrator. Run as
we're going to
administrator.
click run as administrator.
Secure desktop.
Now, I'm not going to do
User account
this.
control type.
Shut up. I'm not going to do this
Screen curtain dis.
because I have already installed this tool. Plus of the fact that I already have VMware open, and it's going to literally corrupt the VM. Well, actually, I don't have it open anymore. It's shut off, but if it's going to corrupt all my stuff if I run this again when I already have this installed. But what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to hit Alt-Y, then it's going to give you some install process. It's not going to be like a normal install. It's going to be a self-installation. So whenever it's done, it'll just close itself. So I'm going to hit Alt-N
Unlocker for VMware.
because I'm not going to be doing that since I already have that installed.
Navigation. Recent forward back to download. Stack item. Wininstall. Win test install.
After you run that one, do not run test install. Run wininstall.cmd. Do not run win test install.
Wininstall.
Just run normal install.
Win uninstall. Win update tools.cmd check.
And then here's win uninstall if you for some reason want to undo this.
Win update
And
tools.cmd check.
then here is win update tools.cmd. So this is Windows update tools, which you need to be able to run Mac efficiently.
Right context menu. Open O. Edit. Print P.
So
Run as admin. Run as different. Run as
you do
admin.
this.
Secure desktop.
You run it as an
User
administrator.
screen.
I'm not going to do that because I already run this, so you guys are going to have to do this on your own. It is a self-installation, so all you have to do is just click Alt-Y, and then it'll just do it by itself, and it'll close itself when it's done. Okay, so now I'm going to hit Alt-N.
Unlocker for VMware.
Now I'm going to go to
Folder view list. VMware
VMware,
workstation 15 player checkbox check 12 of 20.
and this is where I'm going to have to look at my own README
VMware workstation. Run dialog. Type installation room.
because
Text.
I need
Google Drive.
a few details from
Items. Music check. macOS VM. Items. Mac. README. README.
README that I have.
So if you're reading this, tab press next.
So
Edit. Now then select the Mac.
I'm gonna have
Shut down
this
the system.
open.
macOS VM. VMware workstation 15 player. Non-commercial use on VMware works.
Meanwhile, we are going to go to
Mac Home 105.
here, and we're
Welcome to
going
VMware
to
workstation.
hit Control N.
New virtual machine wizard dialog. Dialog install from. I will install the operating system later. Radio button check. Alt. Installer disk image file. ISO. I will
And you're gonna check the box that says I will install the operating system later.
press help button. Next greater than button Alt plus N.
You click
Unavailable.
next,
Help button dialog.
and
Yes,
then it
operating system
asks
rooted.
you
Apple Mac.
what operating system you
Linux, Apple
want.
Mac.
You check the box that says Apple macOS X
Press
or macOS 10,
version rooted. Version combo box macOS 10.12 collapse Alt.
and then you
Mac
scroll
macOS
up
10.15.
to macOS 10.
macOS 10.15.
1.5 because that's Catalina and that's the one we're going to be running.
macOS 10.15. Help button. Less than Mac button. Next greater than button Alt plus N.
We're going to hit next.
Unavailable. Help button dialog. Virtual machine name. Edit Alt plus V selected macOS 10.15. 3.
Now you can name
macOS right
this.
blank.
Hold
Run
on.
select.
I need to do
U,
some
E.
notifications in my documents.
Set desktop list. VMware documents.
So
Items view list. Virtual machines. Items view.
And
macOS
just delete
10.15.
my
2. Check 2 of 2.
old one.
Not selected. Selected checked.
I have to burn
macOS
it.
10.15. Not selected checked. VMware workstation. New virtual virtual machine name. macOS 10.15. Right blank.
You can
Right there.
call
3.
it macOS virtual machine,
2.
whatever.
Left parent. macOS 10.15. 2. 2. Blank. 2.
Hold on, let me put parentheses. Sorry. There we go.
macOS 10.15. 2.
And you can name it whatever you want. I know other people have named it other things, so you can do whatever you want.
Location. Browse.
And
Location.
yep,
Browse.
you just
Location. Edit Alt plus L select the C
make it
backslash
go
users backslash
to
15.
the C users, whatever, and then virtual machines, and then blah
Browse.
blah
Listen
blah. Just don't change
Next
that.
break cancel. Dial locate. Browse.
'Cause
Listen
that's
back button. Next greater
fine.
than.
You don't have to worry about that. You press
Unavailable
next.
text. Property page. The virtual machines hard disk is stored as one or more files on the split virtual disk into multiple files.
Don't
Radio button
mess
check.
with
Alt. Maximum
this.
split virtual disk into multiple files.
Because we're gonna be deleting this disk anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Help button. Property page. The virtual machines hard disk is pressed.
You
Help button. Listen
just
back button. Next greater.
check that split virtual machine into whatever.
Cancel property. Split virtual disk into multiple files. Radio.
Split virtual disk into
Help button. Listen back.
multiple
Next greater.
files. You press
Unavailable.
next.
Help button. Dialog. The virtual machine will be created with the following settings. Customize. Listen back. Finish
You
button.
press
Unavailable
finish.
text. VMware workstation 15 player. Non-commercial use only. Property page. Welcome to VMware workstation 15 player. Create a new virtual home 106. macOS 10.15. 2 of 6. Home
Then
macOS 10. Welcome to create a new virtual. Welcome to edit virtual machine list. macOS 10.
you
Edit multiplayer
press
virtual. Edit virtual machine.
edit
Available.
virtual machine.
Virtual machine set property list memory summary 2 GB 1 of 8.
And then you go
Processor.
down to
Hard disk
where it
SATA
says
summary
hard
40 GB 3 of 8
disk.
processor hard disk SATA summary property
And
disk
then
build
you
expand compact button alt
tab
advanced button add button remove button alt plus R
to remove.
device status proven connected power on checkbox check alt plus
Now, that probably looks dumb of me, because why would you be removing the virtual disk of the machine that basically makes it function as the OS? But don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
list C tab control list CD tab control
We're
hardware
going
tab
to fix
selected
this.
list CD slash DV processor memory
Because you're going to have to replace the virtual disk, or VMDK file, as it calls it, with the one that is included in the giant folder that is in the description.
property page Mac MV slider 6
So,
add button alt plus
when you do that, you go back up to memory, you click add.
add hardware wizard dialog hardware type CD slash hard disk 1
You press enter on hard
property page
disk.
recommended virtual disk type proof NVMe radio button check alt radio NVMe SATA radio
Press that one that says SATA, or
SATA
however you
radio button
pronounce
check
it.
pressed
Because that is the most recommended one.
listen back button next greater than button alt plus
And
N
it will run
cancel
the
property
best.
listen back next greater than button
So you select that.
unavailable text property page A virtual disk is composed of one or more files on the host file system listen back property page A
Yes,
virtual use an existing
no,
virtual
you down arrow on that
create
to
use an existing virtual disk radio button check alt plus E
virtual
press
disk.
listen back button next cancel proper listen back next
You
greater than button alt
press
plus unavailable text
next.
existing disk browse button edit alt browse
You
button alt plus R
press browse, and you go to wherever your VMDK file, the 7.71 gigabyte VMDK file
Edit alt
that's in the folder,
browse.
is located. So for me,
Browse for exist
it's
items today grouping
located
expanded macOS catalog
in my
selected today
documents
macOS catalog
folder.
10.15.5 19 of 101.vmdk 1
Get rid of
unlocker for
that.
macOS
No, I
unlock
need
yesterday
this.
Macintosh earlier yesterday grouping earlier this month grouping expanded modified underscores today grouping expanded macOS catalog add hardware wizard dialog
Okay. So you just click on that vmdk file.
Less than back button. Existing disk file grouping. Browse. Button Alt plus R. Edit Alt plus F. Select C /users /15056
And
/downloads /macOS. Cancel button.
up.
Finish. Less than back button. Finish button.
We don't care about my user account right now. You press the you don't press the finish button yet.
Virtual machines. Readme.txt. Readme.
You
PLE.
have
Enter. Press
to
Press Alt. Press
go
yes. Player. Click it. Boot normal live. Click it. Player. Press Enter. Enter. PLE. Shut the default.
the
Continue.
README,
Support Sarah CD. Sarah.
or
Reset. Enter. CPU.
you guys can
CPU. Boot normal
memorize
player. It
this
should save and use the
code
files for you. Okay. You may think now
by
is time. Now
memory,
you can
and then put it in a notepad document, and then copy.
Down arrow to more after this. You need to after then select the now look for the Mac. Then it'll ask you what tab to add and press that. Then tab to remove and press go down to this. Then tab to
What
left.
you're
Then
gonna
now
have
look
to
then select
do is you're gonna have to edit the VMX file. It's another critical file that the machine needs to run to function.
after this.
And you're gonna have to add a little piece of code.
Down arrow to more absent. Scroll all the way to the end when you're at the end. smc.version.
So the code, if you guys want to read the README, is right here. It says smc period version space equals space left quote 0 right quote.
Carriage return right quote.
So
0
that's
left
what
space
it
equals
is. Again,
N-O-I-S-R-E-E.cms.
it is S capitalized
S-M.
MC lowercase dot V capitalized ERSION space equals space left quote 0 right quote. So you guys can rewind the video a little bit if you want to know again what the code is, or you can just read the README that's included in case you'd rather have a written guide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this piece of text.
smc.version equals 0 selected.
I'm going to copy it.
VMware Workstation 15 add hardware wizard dial cancel button finish button. Less than back button alt existing disk file grouping browse button alt less than finish button.
The finish button. I know I said I was not going to do that, but that was only because of I had to get the code.
Less than back finish button.
Finish.
Unavailable. Virtual machine settings dialog.
Now.
README virtual macOS unlocker for VMware. macOS virtual machines 01 call virtual machine.
To wherever your virtual machines are stored, which should just be documents, virtual machines,
items view list macOS 10.15 not selected not checked 1 of 2.
Which depending on what you called it, it should
Mac
just be obvious where it is. So
macOS
for me, it's
10.15
macOS 10.15 and then 2 because it's the second one I've created.
Items view list macOS 10.15 2.rest.lck not macOS 10.15 2.vmx.lck checked macOS 10.15 2.vmdk checked macOS 10.15 2.vmsd macOS 10.15 2.vmx checked macOS 10.15 2.vmx checked 5
that says VMX at the end, and it should be the 5th item for you. If it's not, it doesn't matter.
macOS 10.15 2.vmx
because you're gonna have to do the same thing anyway.
macOS 10.15 2.vmx checked 5 of 7.
Shift F10 or right click
right context menu. Open with VMware Player O.
And you're gonna
Share
have to
7 zip
hit
CRC send with backup to move the scan with Microsoft
open
Defender.
with. So type
Notepad
H.
N. VMware
It's probably gonna give you a thing that's gonna say
search the choose another Notepad N. VMware Player Notepad.
like more apps, and you're gonna have to click that, and then you're gonna have to select Notepad. For me, it already shows because I've already done this before. Shut the hell up. We don't care about my NVDA application.
Notepad N.
You're gonna have to click Notepad.
macOS 10.
You're gonna have to scroll all the way to the end of this, and then you're gonna have to Control V for paste.
smc.version equals 0 line feed smc
and then you should be good. All you have to do is just click Alt F4. It's gonna ask you if you want to save this. You're gonna have to click Save.
macOS 10.15 2 window items view list macOS 10.15 2.vmx check 5 of 17.
Alright, so now that we've got that out of the way, I can close that.
Virtual machine settings dialog. Property pay remove button. Add.
And now,
property disk utilities grouping expand. Disk file list new hard disk. Tab control hardware tab selected.
What we're going to do is we're going to go to this tab controller over here.
Hardware tab.
We're going to go to Options tab.
VMware Workstation 15 player. Non-commercial play virtual machine. Edit virtual list. Edit virtual machines unavailable. Edit multi-line.
Virtual list. Property page back list. Tab control. Hardware tab. Supposed to tab. Okay.
Hardware tab. Options tab select.
Options.
Property page suspended snapshot files. Property page guest operating system grouping. Apple macOS.
And then we're going to change the guest operating system
Apple radio button. Microsoft
to
Windows.
Microsoft Windows. And
Windows 10 x64.
Windows 10 x64. Now you're probably questioning me right now. Why are we doing that? Why do we need to do that? Because it needs to install some files, and VMware will most likely ask you for a software update that you're going to have to install to be able to do this properly. And for me, it's not going to do that because it already is going to like I already did this once, so it's not going to ask me for the software updates and stuff, but it will most likely ask you guys for the software updates as well. So when it does, you just hit download and install or whatever the button is going to be called. It's going to have something with install, and then you will be good. You're just going to have to wait. So you have to switch this to Microsoft Windows x64 because it'll still be a Mac. Don't worry. But there is some files that it has to download and install onto the disk before it can be a full-fledged Mac OS. So we're gonna have to change
Working
this
directory grouping. Working desktop. Windows 10
to
x64.
Windows 10
Working browse button.
x64,
Enhanced key OK button. Property pick.
and then we're gonna
Use if
select
available. Recommended.
the enhanced
Off.
keyboard
Use if
thingy
available.
to use if
OK
available.
button. Cancel. OK button.
We're gonna have to hit OK.
VMware Workstation 15 player. Non-commercial use only. Property
And
page space.
now-
Power off OS. Windows. Play virtual machine. Edit multi-lines of list.
These are
macOS
my other
10.15.
virtual
Home.
machines that we're not worrying about right now.
macOS 10.15.
Those
2
are
2 of 6.
other stuff.
Home macOS 10.15. 2 of 6.
macOS 10.5 or 1.5 or whatever. Catalina.
macOS 10.1. Mac. Home 1 of 6. macOS.
We're gonna have to hit the Alt
Context menu.
key on it,
File sub. Power available sub menu P. File sub
and
menu.
then we're gonna go to the power sub.
Power available sub menu.
Now it might not be
File sub. Power available
available
sub menu.
at
VMware context menu.
first,
File sub menu left. VMware context menu.
but
Edit
it
multi list.
will
macOS
be
10.15. Home 1 of 6.
available.
macOS. Context. File sub. Power sub menu P.
See, like now it is.
Power on P.
So now you hit the power on button.
macOS 10.15. macOS 10.15. 2. VMware Workstation 15 player dialog cannot connect. No, but yes, but
You
no.
press yes on this. Just ignore that.
macOS 10.15. 2. VMware Workstation 15 player.
And
Non-commercial
this
use
is
only.
probably where it will ask you for software updates. Obviously, you're going to have to hit download and install or whatever button it is that has the install word in it. Just you're going to have to click that button. For me, it's not going to do that because I've already set this up and I'm not about to uninstall it because it took me forever to set the thing up. But just know that you're going to have to do that. Now, if you are blind like me and you use NVDA, you can use Windows 10 OCR to like recognize what's on the screen. That's what's useful. It can recognize text on the screen and it can tell you more or less what's on the screen. If you're sighted, it is going to look like this anyway, so just bear with me here. I am going to hit NVDAR to activate Windows OCR. Make sure
Temporary screen curtain enabled.
Sorry.
Screen curtain disabled.
that there is no screen curtain software on, and that you can you make sure that your screen is visible to sighted people, basically, if you're blind. And you hit NVDAR,
Recognizing result document.
and
Clear.
it'll
Clear.
say something like this.
Boot normal I. vmware virtual. vmware virtual. network. internal shell. Enter setup. Reset the system. Boot manager. Sarah hard drive. 0 Sarah CD-ROM drive unsupported. Continue the boot using the default boot order. Shut down the system. TL equals move. Enter greater and equal to select. Enter greater and equal to enter greater and equal to select entry.
So that's what it should say. Something like that.
macOS 10.15.
Now, either you will get a dialogue at some point telling you to restart the VM, or after a little bit, you just do it yourself. Last time I did this on the virtual machine that I burned earlier, it gave me the restart VM dialogue. It most likely won't, though, because you have to be pretty fast to be able to catch it. So after a little bit, after about like 3 minutes, you can shut the thing down, or no, restart it, sorry. And then when you restart it, you can, after that, and it says something about not being able to boot up into Windows 10 x64, you shut it down. So let me actually do this so I can show you.
Recognizing result document. Boot normal. vmware network. internal enter setup. Reset the system. Boot manager.
Yeah,
Sarah hard drive.
so
Boot reset
if
the
it says
boot manager. Sarah CD
reset
support. Continue
the
the boot using
system,
the default boot shut down. The CL equals move. Enter greater and equal to select entry. macOS 10.1.
then you are free to restart it. So we're going to be doing that now.
Context menu. File sub menu left. Power sub menu P. Power on unavailable P. Shut down guest suspend guest restart guest R.
Restart guest R.
VMware Workstation. No button.
It's
Yes
going
button.
to ask you if you're sure. Press yes.
macOS 10.15. 2. VMware Workstation 15 player. Non-commercial use only.
Now wait like a few minutes. Not really a few minutes. Wait like 1 or 2, and then recognize the screen with OCR. Or if you're sighted, just pay attention to what this text is gonna say, because I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna be able to see the screen. So I think that'll be fine. But it will say something like unable to boot into Windows 10 x64, something like that. And when it says that, when it does a pop-up like that, you're supposed to shut it down and then switch the switch the system, I should say, back to Mac OS. So let me recognize my screen with OCR right now.
Recognizing result document. Attempting to start up from IEC virtual server no compatible bootloader found. IEC virtual server CD-ROM RAU 1.0 N. IEC network vmware. Click in the virtual screen. Windows 10 x64 is not installed on this virtual insert. The installer disconnect. Click in the Windows 10 x64 is not installed on this virtual insert. The installer disconnect expert VM bullet.
Yeah, something like that. When it says
macOS
that,
10.
when your OCR says that, or when you sighted people see that, you will go down.
Contact file submenu. Power submenu. P. Power on available. Shutdown guest. Suspend guest. Shutdown guest. O.
Shutdown
VMware
guest.
workstation 15 player dialog. Are you sure you want to no button? Yes button.
Yes. And then VMware should close
Read
itself.
TXT. Notepad. Text editor. Edit.
Which it
Folder view
did.
list. VMware.
So now you go back to VMware and reopen it.
VMware workstation 15 player.
Now
macOS 10.15. 206.
you go to this
macOS 10.
virtual machine
Welcome to VMware. Edit multi-line
and
select.
you
macOS
tab
10.15.
back
2. Flavor edit virtual.
to edit this virtual machine.
Available. Edit multi-line select. Virtual machine setting. Property list.
You
Mem tab
go
control.
back
Hardware
to
tab select. Hardware
options.
tab. Options tab select. Property page suspended. Snapshot files with property page suspended. Working directory grouping. Working OK button. Property
And
virtual machine name
then
grouping. Virtual
it
machine name edit alt
should
selected. macOS
let
list general summary.
you
macOS 10.15. 2. 106. Property page suspended.
change
Working directory
this
grouping. OK but cancel tilt button tab control. Options tab. Property page suspended. Property page suspended. Snapshot files will be stored here. Virtual machine.
to
Working directory grouping. Working directory edit OK button.
Mac OS 10. You can put it. Actually, it's recommended that you set the OS as Apple Mac OS 10, and then in the version select 10.14, because I know what you're thinking. It's 1.5 or it's Catalina, but you're making it 4. Why? Because there's basically no difference, and it actually runs better that way if you do that. So
Property page suspend. Virtual machine name grouping. Virtual machine name edit. Working direct. Virtual list general
apologize
summary tab control button. Cancel OK button. Property page suspend. OK but cancel button.
that
VMware workstation.
mine is
macOS 10.15.
being
2. macOS 10.1. macOS list. macOS
really
1.
dumb,
macOS 10.15. 2. 206. Context
but
file submenu. Power submenu. Power on P. Removable
I'm gonna
devices
try
dialog.
this
Each device can
again.
be. macOS 10.15. 2. VMware workstation 15 player. Non-commercial use only.
This might happen to you. Hopefully it doesn't happen to you, but be aware that it can happen. You could have like some technical errors. So let me
Recognizing result document. Boot normal live. EPU WiFi network. EPU enter setup. Reset the system. Boot manager. Continue to boot the default boot order. Sarah hard drive. Sarah CD unsupported op. Shut down the system. Unsupported op on. Shut down TL equals boot enter greater and equals enter greater and equals macOS 10.
All right. If that doesn't work, then I recommend just trying it again until you are able to switch the OS. Because for some reason, when I do this, occasionally it'll do this to me.
Recognizing result document. Boot EPU WiFi enter reset the boot manager. Continue to the default boot. Continue to boot using macOS.
Just do this again. Just
Contact file sub. Power
over
sub. Power on.
here.
Shutdown. Suspend. Restart the power on. Restart.
Restart
VMware open.
it.
Yes button. macOS 10.15.
Yes.
2. VMware workstation 15 player. Non-commercial use only.
And then you should just repeat the process over again. When it says unable to boot into Windows 10 x64 or whatever, then just shut it down. So let me see if it says that
Recognizing
yet
result
for
document.
me.
Attempt IEC no IEC no compatible bootloader found. IEC bulletware IEC network. macOS 10.
So it doesn't say that yet, but it should soon. Sorry that a few things are going wrong, but I promise you that when this is done, you will have a working macOS 10 Catalina VM.
Recognizing result document. Attempting IEC no IEC bulletware IEC network bulletware IEC network IEC virtual IEC bulletware macOS 10.15. 2.
So yeah, I'm going to attempt to
Context file power submenu. Removable power sub. Power on. Shutdown desktop. VMware workstation 15. Yes button. macOS 10.5. 2. Desktop list. VMware workstation 15 player checkbox check 12 of 26. VMware workstation 15 player. Non-commercial use only. List. macOS 10.15. 2. 206. Edit multi-play virtual. Edit virtual unavailable. Edit multi-line select. First tab control. Hardware tab. Hardware tab. Property page suspended. Snapshot files will be stored here. List general summary. macOS property page suspended. Operating system grouping. Microsoft Windows Radio Linux Radio button. Apple macOS X Radio
Apple
button. Check press.
macOS X
Version. Combo box macOS
There you
10.12
go.
collapse alt plus macOS 10.1 macOS 10.14.
10.14.
VMware Workstation.
because it actually runs better like
macOS
that,
10.
even though it's 10.15, it's
List macOS.
Catalina.
Home 106.
It still runs really well and actually better
macOS 10.
than if
Home
you
one-
just select 10.15.
macOS.
I'm not sure why. They're basically the same,
Context menu. File
so
sub menu.
it'll just run for you with no errors.
Power sub menu P. Power on P.
And we're just gonna go to power on,
macOS 10.15. macOS 10. No button. Yes
and
button.
then it's gonna give you this virtual device ID crap.
macOS
So press
10.15.
yes.
2. VMware Workstation 15 player. Non-commercial use only.
And wait a couple minutes for this. If everything goes to plan, wait a couple minutes until it shows something about installing macOS Catalina HD, and then it tells you how many minutes are remaining and stuff. Because it'll take a little bit. And the installation of the operating system will take like 20 to 30 minutes. Should not take more than an hour though. Because it doesn't really rely on your internet. It just is trying to install the operating system and its files. So it should not be more than an hour. If it is more than an hour, that's a bit of a problem. Alright? So, while I'm waiting for this to say that, because I'm going to OCR it in a little bit, I'm going to actually give a shout out to a friend of mine that helped me with this process, and that also helped write the README guide for you guys, if you guys would rather have a written guide. So his channel is called Tech Masters. He does technology stuff. Doesn't really upload much, but I think he'd appreciate a few subscribers. So throw him a few subscribers. Go sub to him. He's cool. He helped me with this. He told me about the system requirements I needed to have. He helped me with my README guide. And he's a cool person in general, so go check him out. I am now going to OCR the thingy.
Recognizing result document. Player.
So right now it'll
macOS
just
10.
say player, and it'll probably say player for a little while, especially since I'm running OBS with this. But it will at some point say installing macOS Catalina HD, and then it'll give you a timer. So let me OCR it again, because maybe it did
macOS
do this.
contains a built-in screen reader called
Oh
VoiceOver.
shit!
If you know how to use VoiceOver,
Oh my
press
god!
Command F5 now to turn it on and set up your Mac.
Oh my
If you'd
god!
like to
Just
learn
use the
how to
Afghanistan.
use
All the
VoiceOver
values.
to
Albania.
set up your Mac, press the
Mac-
escape
That's
key.
awesome! I didn't even have to put up with the installation. That's awesome! Okay, so that's not gonna happen for you guys. That's not gonna happen for you guys at all. You guys have to deal with the installation. But for me, I just got this working though. Oh my god, that's awesome! I wasn't even expecting that. That's a welcome surprise. So what I'm gonna do is,
Hey.
yes, you heard that properly. Whenever your installation is done, either Siri female will start to talk, or it won't, because the sighted people will not be using the screen reader. So just set this up like you would normally. To interact with the virtual machine, if you guys didn't already know, it's Control G. And I'm going to turn on VoiceOver, and you're going to see that I was not lying, and this is a working Mac VM, not a real Mac. Apple, don't sue me, please.
VoiceOver on Setup Assistant. Window. Table.
Okay, so to increase the system, there's a few things I should teach you guys before I go, because after this, I am going to be ending the video. So, to control the Mac, the keys are on your keyboard. Control is normal control for the Mac. Function is normal function. Windows is command. Alt is option. Now, control and option are going to be very useful if you're a VoiceOver user, because they will be. They are basically essential for a VoiceOver user. And I'm going to teach you guys how to increase the system volume by pressing, I think it should be, for me, it is Control, Alt, Shift. Actually, I'm just going to refer to these as Mac keys. So Control, Option, Shift, and then hyphen and equals will decrease the volume for hyphen and increase it for equals.
Increase system volume. Increase system volume. Increase system volume.
There you go.
Increase system volume.
Really audible, and you can see that I hardly have any lag, if at all, because my system is running pretty well. My RAM that is
macOS,
currently being used
58.7% RAM used.
is like 58%, which is actually less than it's less than what it used to be for my other Mac that I burned. So you need at least 6 gigabytes of RAM to be running this virtual machine. It will probably increase to 75% once you start like actually setting the thing up, because right now it's not using much, but when you actually set it up, it will use more. Speaking of setting it up, you can connect your Apple ID and messages and FaceTime and all the other stuff to this virtual machine, and it can basically be treated like a normal MacBook. However, this is important. Do not call Apple about this. Like, if you have problems with this Mac OS VM, look online on how to fix it, or do your own research. Do not call Apple, because Apple will just be like, yeah, this isn't an official Mac, so we're not going to allow you to get any help from us. Since this isn't a real Mac, we're screw off. They're basically going to be like that. It's basically like jailbreaking. If you jailbreak your iPhone, then Apple will not provide you any help. So don't expect any help from Apple. That's very important that you don't call them. And you might get in trouble by them if they find out. That being said, what's ironic is that if you sign into your Apple ID, it'll actually, under your devices section, it'll say the name of your Mac and it'll say VMware on it. And if you look at the serial number, it'll have VM at the beginning, meaning that it's a virtual machine, meaning that Apple knows it's a virtual machine. But the thing is, I don't think you're going to really get in trouble. I don't think you really can. But Apple will not help you with this. So that is that. If you guys enjoyed this video, my Mac is running. That's awesome.
Hey.
World
If
table.
you guys
Row 1 of
enjoyed
200.
this
Back.
video, I'm not going to take you guys through the setup experience, because that I think you guys can do by yourselves. It's pretty straightforward, honestly. Nothing too bad. So, yeah, for this VM, you should have at least 8 gigabytes of this, of your system RAM to work, because it takes 6 out, which is a lot. But my system can run this pretty smoothly. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching all the way through. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys leave a like. Sorry for a bit of errors, but we got this to work. If you guys would rather read the README file, it'll be included in the description. The link will be in the description for the giant folder that I'm going to be providing you guys. And, yeah, let me tab out of this virtual machine real quick. This has been successful. And I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go sub to Tech Masters. Follow me on Twitter at TowerKiller55 for technology-related tweets or commentary-related tweets. Which, don't worry, guys, the commentary videos have not stopped. They will continue. I am working on some. And, yeah. Let me know how this went for you. Let me know what happened. And, yeah, I would love to see some comments from you guys. And if you guys need help, I will be right here to help you. So, yeah, I am out of here. Peace.